Hello, welcome to Let's Learn. Today, let's learn The Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 2. This scene opens in Belmont, where Portia lives. Portia, like Antonio, is sad and melancholic. In fact, she is in a dilemma whether to follow the lottery casket devised by her father or to marry the one whom she really loves. An intense situation, isn't it? So, this is the crux of Act 1, Scene 2. Portia feels that she's too tired of this world. Nerissa, Portia's lady in waiting, opines. Virtue stands in the middle. Too much of anything is not good. Too much of happiness and too much of sadness. Both extremes can make life meaningless. In Portia's case, her miseries are too little when compared to her good fortune. Since she is blessed with abundance, she feels disappointed even when she encounters an insignificant trouble, a silly trouble. She gives a simple example to drive home this beautiful thought. Nerissa says, people who eat more are prone to health problems than the people who starve. When you eat more, you are blessed with a host of health issues. Those who have too much of everything grow old quickly. Those who have just enough will live longer. What do you feel? Nerissa is philosophical, rational, pragmatic, isn't it? Yes, Portia too feels the same. Advices offered by Nerissa are too fabulous. But, but, yes, it is easy to advise someone when it doesn't affect your life. If people practiced what they preached, poor man's huts would become palaces and chapels would become churches. The reality is, it is easy to preach but too difficult to practice. Portia says, I can neither choose the one whom I love nor reject the one whom I do not love. What a terrible predicament I face. Well, and Nerissa is ready with her answer. She says, your father was very virtuous and a holy man. When the holy men die, they are blessed with holy inspirations. The Lottery casket devised by your father is the result of the holy inspirations your father received on his deathbed. One thing I can guarantee, the right casket will only be chosen by the one who really and truly loves you. There are a number of suitors who have come to try their luck and win Portia in marriage. Nerissa is too keen to know Portia's opinion about the suitors. Portia asks Nerissa to name them one by one and she will express her opinion. A Neapolitan prince, the Prince of Naples. He's just like a horse. He does nothing but talk about his horse. He thinks that it is one of his great qualities that he can shoe his horse by himself. It, it will be splendiferous if Portia gets married to Neapolitan prince and they will be talking only about horse. County Palatine. The only thing that he does is to frown. He seems to be a person who probably does not care whether Portia chooses him or not. Even when he hears merry tales, he does not smile. He is full of sadness. Portia feels that when he grows old, or he may become a weeping philosopher like Heraclitus. Heraclitus was a philosopher who ran away from the world, telling that the world is full of miseries. And Portia feels that County Palatine would also become a weeping philosopher like Heraclitus. Portia would prefer marrying a skull, in fact, a skull with a bone in its mouth, than any of the two suitors. And in fact, she prays to God to protect her from these two suitors. The third in the line is a Monsieur Le Bon, the Lord from France. Since God has made him a man, for that reason only he can be called a man. That means he does not have any manly qualities. Portia says that it's a sin to mock at somebody, but she cannot help mocking at the French Lord. In fact, he talks more about horse than the Prince of Naples. He frowns more than the County Palatine. He is not a proper man, as he has all the bad qualities of every man. Even if a common bird sings, he jumps with it. He does fencing with his own shadow. If Portia marries him, it would be like marrying 20 husbands. A wonderful offer, I think so. She adds that if the Lord hates her, she would still forgive him. But if he loves her greatly, she would not be able to return his love. And the fourth suitor is Falconbridge, the young Baron of England. Portia did not say anything to him. This is because the Englishman did not understand Latin, French, or Italian. Portia, on the other hand, did not know English well. Though the Englishman was a proper man, a really handsome man, but Portia would not love to marry a person with whom she would have to converse in sign language. And secondly, he was very oddly dressed. His doublet was from Italy, his horse from France, and his hat was from Germany, and he showed behavior of many countries. Fifth suitor is the Scottish lord. He is in fact a neighbor of Falconbridge, and he received one blow from Falconbridge, and in fact he wants to return the blow. What he does, I'm waiting for a help, I'm waiting for opportune time to return the blow. And in fact, Shakespeare is referring to a historical fact, that is, whenever Scotland and England were engaged in war, the French came to the help of the Scottish people. So the same way, the Scottish lord is expecting the French lord, Monsieur Le Bon, to come to his help and help him to return the blow that he received from Falconbridge. And the last, the last suitor is the young German, the nephew of Duke of Saxon. In fact, Portia liked him very badly in the morning when he was not drunk. The afternoon, he was worse, as he used to be drunk then. When he was at his best, he was a miserable man, and when he was at his worst, he was hardly better than a beast. Even if the worst thing happens, that is Saxony's nephew choosing the right casket, Portia says, I would not marry him. But at the end of giving or sharing Portia's opinion about all the four suitors, Nerissa comes up with a happy news. So Nerissa reveals that all these six suitors have decided to leave Belmont without trying their luck. Since you are not impressed by any of these six suitors, it's going to be a welcome, happy news for Portia. It's a good news indeed, Portia says. But if I do not find a right suitor who will choose the right casket, what is going to happen? I may live long enough to be as old as Sibylla, but I will die a virgin like Diana. Apollo granted Sibylla a blessing, that is, as many years of life as there were grains in the handful of sand she carried, but not endless youth, as she betrayed her love. And Sibylla stands for old women. Diana is the goddess of virginity. So, what Portia is trying to convey is, I might have a long lifespan like Sibylla. What's the use of it if I don't get married and die like Diana, die a virgin? Then Nerissa reminds Portia of a young Venetian, a dashing young Venetian who came in the company of a Marquis of Montferrat during her father's time, and he was a soldier and a scholar. And Portia is able to remember his name, that is Bassanio. This scene comes to an end when the servant of Portia informs her that four suitors are living and the Prince of Morocco will be arriving that night to take part in the lottery casket. Let me summarize. Act 1, Scene 2. So, at the beginning of the scene, you find Portia. She is introduced to the audience. Well, she's in a dilemma. She's in a dilemma whether she should follow the lottery casket or she should marry the person whom she loves. And this lottery casket is devised by her father. According to the lottery casket, the one who chooses the right casket which contains her portrait will be able to marry her. And that is in fact too depressing because she doesn't have the choice making ability. She can neither choose the one whom she loves nor reject the one whom she doesn't love. That is indeed a painful factor. So Nerissa, she's her servant, lady in waiting. She tries to help her, give some kind of comfort by giving a few enlightening advices, but Portia feels that they are just advices. because it is easy to preach. Practicing is quite difficult. And also, Portia's opinion about the six suitors are also shared in this scene. And from this, we'll come to know that Portia is not impressed with the qualities of the six suitors who have come to try their luck. And in fact, she's waiting for someone else who came in the company of a Marquis of Montferrat while her father was alive, that is Bassanio. And she is really worried. If she follows the lottery casket, she might live for several years but might die a virgin like Diana. And the scene ends with the arrival of the first suitor, that is Prince of Morocco, who will make a choice of casket. Thank you. Make use of the video and prepare yourself well. Thank you.